This is Johnny Vedmore on Today's News Talk. TNT.
Yeah. Now, you've always got loads of books ready on your desk to go through. What have you got on there today? What are you hidden below? What is hidden below you?
Well, I just had Richard Poe on yesterday, and he is phenomenal. And I just read this book. I'm hoping he can get some of his other books back in print because I want to read them too. But he mentions you at the end of this book when he talks about in the last chapter from Roundtable to WEF, the WEF. And he thanks you for some of your work. And what else do I have? I've been going through the 50 years of the Tavistock Clinic. This book is awesome. It's by Henry Dix, and it goes through all the shell trusts that they created and how the different clinics were partnered up with the NGOs, and so kind of outlines a lot of the tentacles that is Tavistock. And I don't know, I've got about 50 books here. So
that's something you like, isn't it? You like exploring tentacles, trying to find out where they lead and what the body looks like. I think that's what your work is, isn't it?
It is. That describes it well.
Yeah, you're a tentacle hunter, tentacle feeler. Let's not go too far down that line of questioning. I'd say let's go on to you are preparing for the Cognitive Liberty Conference in Nashville, Tennessee, which will take place on the 16th and 17th of August, if I'm not wrong. It's been chosen on Madonna's birthday, of course. So I wish I could be in attendance. What's the event intended to achieve? And are you looking forward to this? What's going on?
So I wish you could be in attendance too, but you can watch the live stream from anywhere in the world, and the live stream audience will have the opportunity to submit their questions for the panelists. So the in-person attendance is actually very limited. So if you are able to get to Nashville, I highly recommend that you get your tickets very quickly. And what am I hoping to accomplish? Well, I just feel like we are bombarded with so much dialectical warfare. And I think a lot of people don't really understand the nature of this type of warfare tactics, and they don't really understand how the dialectic operates. And I think that we have also, in the West in general, and definitely in the United States of America, we have what Charlotte Iserbyt called the deliberate dumbing down of America. And so the first day is going to be a discussion on cognitive liberty in education, which I think has very nearly disappeared. And so we are going to talk about why that is and how to restore it. So we have a great panel for that day. That's August 16th. And that is, right now we have Tiffany Boyd, John Kleisick, who wrote the School World Order. And we also have Matthew Crawford, who has established his own schools, and in his schools the students were competing in math competitions and winning, which is very rare in the United States. We have really deteriorated in our math skills, and he's written math textbooks, so he's going to be a phenomenal addition to this roundtable as well. And that is only available for live stream that day, but people will be able to submit questions to the panelists. And then day 2 is August 17th, and this is where, if anybody has seen my podcast with Dr. James Lindsay, Stephen Coughlin, and Jay Dyer, then you will find this to be a real treat. It's going to be an expanded version of that. And if you have not, I recommend you do go check it out because it was fantastic. And they are just a wealth of information. And they really help to make some of this more academic, intellectual type of philosophical concepts really tangible and accessible and applicable. So that is what we're trying to do. So to add to that roster, this time we're going to have Michael O'Fallon and Dr. John Gentry. So that there, as I said, there will be an in-person availability, and the location will be disclosed to those who purchase the ticket. It's a beautiful rooftop venue. It is a private venue, however, so the location will only be disclosed to those who have purchased tickets, but it is in a beautiful rooftop downtown Nashville. So
I bet. And John Kleisick is one of my favorite people on earth. I think he must be one of the nicest people I have ever met in my life. And I just, at times he's been even a shoulder to cry on, which I was surprised about because, I met him and instantly we just like clicked. I love him as a person. And of course, Jay Dyer is another one who's been on the show, and is a brilliant figure. Who are you most looking forward to speaking to and meeting the most?
Well, I have met all of them except for John Gentry. I have not met him in person. I have a podcast scheduled with him in a couple of weeks, and I've talked to him quite a bit back and forth. So he will be one I have not met in person yet. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. I don't know. I mean, they're all really incredible. Jay Dyer is a dear friend, and so is John Klasick. We actually did an episode interviewing Constance Cumby together. And we spent 2 days at Constance Cumby's house, and I think she has literally 80,000 books in her library. If not, it's something, it might as well be infinite. There's like books, the bookshelves, and then behind that, there's rows of books. And I think she's at least skimmed all of them. She's truly a font. So that episode will be coming out soon too. So
I'd love to see that one because John explained how amazing she is, and he had told me that she's just like a wealth of knowledge, which is just unbelievable, and he's trying to also keep that knowledge alive, which is it's a laudable task for sure. It's something that not many people do. We're going to take a quick break for the news, and we'll be back shortly afterwards. Or just before we do, what are those books? Come on, show us quickly.
Oh. Those are hers. Constance Cumby. It's the Planned Deception, the staging of a New Age Messiah, and then the Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow.
Excellent. People should be reading this stuff, that's for sure.
This is Johnny Vedmore on Today's News Talk.